Kathy Hilton wants Kyle Richards to start playing the field. Celebrity divorces are generally very public and can often be messy. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills stars Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky are now going their separate ways. While the two seem to publicly treat each other with respect, there are definitely hurt feelings behind the scenes. Mauricio seems to have completely moved on. Meanwhile, Kyle is still working through her feelings. But her sister Kathy Hilton thinks it's time she explored the dating world too. Kathy Hilton encourages Kyle Richards to put herself out there. Right now, it doesn't seem like Kyle Richards is interested in finding someone new. But even so, her family would love to see her fall in love again, especially her sister. When Us Weekly asked Kathy if she was encouraging Kyle to play the field, Kathy responded with an emphatic yes. "I think it will take a while," Kathy continued. I think right now her daughters are the most important thing. She's working so much that it's hard to get out there and after working all day, you're kind of tired." Kathy also noted that Kyle is making the best of things after new photos of Mauricio Umansky kissing another woman circulated online. The situation is jarring, to say the least. But Kathy isn't the only RHOBH star to rally around Kyle during her time of need. Garcelle Beauvais chimed in and told Us Weekly that she's just trying to be a good friend to Kyle right now. "I think that's what you do when a friend is going through something uncomfortable," she shared. "We try to rally. I just love her and I love our friendship and where it's going, and so I want to be there for her to support her in any way that I can," Sutton Strack added. The RHOBH star celebrates her sobriety during this trying time. A high-profile divorce would certainly stress anyone out. But even so, Kyle Richards is putting herself first and celebrating her health and wellness. In a recent Instagram post, she also shared that she is 2 years sober. "But the real reward is how I feel on the inside. I feel strong, energetic, and grateful for my body. I want to take care of it like it has taken care of me," she shared in the caption. "It would have been a lot harder going through these difficult times if I had been drinking. I want to wake up every day feeling my best, mentally and physically strong enough to face whatever comes my way." Kathy Hilton had been watching her sister-in-law, Kyle Richards, for months now, and she had a feeling that Kyle wasn't truly living her best life. Despite everything that had gone on with her marriage to Mauricio, Kathy saw Kyle retreating into her own world, seeming to hold back from embracing the fun, carefree lifestyle she once had. There was something in Kathy's gut that told her it was time to intervene, to give Kyle the push she needed, and Kathy knew exactly how to do it. One warm evening in the middle of a family gathering, Kathy decided the time had come to speak her truth. She had been circling around the idea for a while, watching Kyle become more and more withdrawn, and at this point, Kathy couldn't keep quiet anymore. As they sat around the lavish dining table, glasses of rosé in hand, Kathy cleared her throat dramatically, ready to make her move. "All right, Kyle," Kathy began with a mischievous twinkle in her eye. "I've been thinking about this for a while now. I've seen you working through everything with Mauricio, but I have to tell you something, and I'm saying this as your sister-in-law, your friend, too, of course." Kyle looked up at Kathy, slightly wary but intrigued. "What's up, Kathy?" Kathy leaned forward, her tone now taking on a more serious yet playful edge. "It's time for you to start playing the field, honey. I know you're still figuring things out, but it's been long enough. You deserve some fun, some excitement. Why sit around being all mopey when you could be out there having the time of your life?" The words hung in the air for a moment, and Kyle's eyes widened as she processed what Kathy had just suggested. "Playing the field? What do you mean?" "I mean," Kathy said, grinning, "get out there. Go on a date. Flirt a little. I know it might sound a bit wild, but you're not a little girl anymore. You're a grown woman, and you deserve to feel like one. You're still beautiful, still fabulous, and don't you forget it. Maybe it's time to dip your toes into the world of possibility. There's more than one guy who would love to take you out on a date, Kyle." Kyle let out a nervous laugh, half mortified and half amused. "Kathy, you're crazy," she replied, unsure whether she was joking or not. "What if I'm just not ready for that?" "Oh, honey," Kathy said, shaking her head as if she were speaking to a child. You don't have to rush into anything serious. Start slow, have some fun. If you're scared, then go for a casual dinner. See where the night takes you, but don't shut yourself off from the possibility. Life is too short to not at least try and have a little fun, don't you think? Kyle looked down at her glass, swirling the rosé, her mind racing. Kathy's words struck a chord with her. She had been so focused on the past few months, sorting through emotions, and dealing with her family, that she hadn't allowed herself to think about the future. Maybe Kathy was right. Maybe it was time to stop overthinking everything and take small steps forward. It wasn't about forgetting the past, but about embracing the future. Kathy wasn't done yet. You've been through a lot, Kyle. But you don't have to do it alone, and you sure as hell don't have to hide from the world. Everyone is rooting for you to move forward, and if anyone deserves a little happiness and excitement, it's you. Kyle's eyes softened at Kathy's words, and she couldn't help but smile. Despite Kathy's playful tone, there was an undeniable sincerity behind her suggestion. Kathy had always been the one to lighten the mood and bring joy, even when things felt heavy. Kyle admired that about her. And maybe, just maybe, she needed a little bit of that joy in her own life. Okay, I'll think about it, Kyle finally said, her voice tinged with a hint of excitement. But I'm not making any promises. I'm not going to rush into anything just because you tell me to. Kathy gave her a wink. Don't rush, sweetheart. Just keep your options open. That's all I'm saying. The conversation shifted after that, but Kathy could tell that Kyle's mind was buzzing. Kathy had planted the seed, and now it was up to her sister-in-law to decide whether or not to take the plunge. Kathy had no illusions that this would be easy for Kyle. She knew how much Kyle still cared about her family, especially Mauricio. But at the same time, Kathy couldn't help but feel that it was time for Kyle to let go of the past and embrace something new. Weeks passed, and Kyle did start to venture out a bit more. She went out with friends, attended a few events on her own, and laughed more than she had in months. There was a spark in her eyes that Kathy hadn't seen in a while, and it gave her hope that maybe she had been right. Playing the field didn't mean jumping into a relationship right away. It meant giving herself the space to rediscover who she was outside of her family roles. Kathy could already tell that Kyle was more relaxed, more playful, and dare she say, happier. One night, after a particularly fun dinner with a few girlfriends, Kyle called Kathy. She was almost giddy with excitement, her voice higher than usual, as if she had caught wind of something exciting and unexpected. Kathy, she said breathlessly, you were right. I think I'm starting to see what you mean. I went out tonight with a guy I met, and it wasn't a big deal or anything, but I actually had fun. I think I'm ready to play the field, as you put it. Kathy burst out laughing, delighted by the news. I knew it. You just needed that little nudge, didn't you? I'm so proud of you, Kyle. Kyle chuckled, feeling a little bit lighter with every passing second. I think I needed that push more than I realized. Thanks, Kathy. I think I'm starting to enjoy this whole playing the field thing after all. Don't thank me, honey, Kathy said, her voice warm and teasing. Thank yourself. You've got this.